I'm Dick Martin, President of the Village of Oakfield, welcoming you here to our 150th year celebration, our Sesquicentennial. The week has just been filled with celebrating and remembering and reminiscing about the past history of the Village of Oakfield. And it all started on Tuesday afternoon and evening and Wednesday with a village-wide rummage sale. Had over 50 families with rummage sales in the village. On Wednesday evening, there were two different church services with some very good history behind them in the Episcopal and the Catholic religions. And on Thursday, back to an old-time movie, attended by close to 300 people, free popcorn, and just like the days of old, sitting outside and watching the movie. On Friday night, the capsule was put in place as far as the storage of materials for the 200th celebration to come 50 years from now. And today just finished the hour and 40-minute parade, very nice parade, and now we're at the craft shows and the quilt show and having a dance this evening. So it's just been an evening, a week totally rounded with great, good activities. I think the Sesquicentennial, put together by a committee of local people that have just done an excellent job, and the community itself has turned out in the same way. The community spirit has just risen dramatically, and I think everyone is going to be real happy with the entire week, and it'll kick off our year-long celebration of the founding and the forming of the Village of Oakfield. We're glad everyone's been here, and welcome everyone to come back even after the Sesquicentennial and spend some time in what we feel is just an absolute excellent community to live in. Thank you.
Hi, I'm State Senator Carol Bitner, and I have the great privilege and pleasure of working with the good folks of the Village of Oakfield here, and it has been just great to be involved in the great Sesquicentennial celebration here. As I've come to Oakfield and come to know the people, I found this to be an extremely welcoming and warm and friendly community. A few weeks ago, Governor Tommy Thompson, currently the governor of the state of Wisconsin, was here to raise the grand banner that talked about the celebration of the Sesquicentennial Days. And it's been, again, just a real good community spirit that is evidenced here. And it's a great time for families. It's a great time for community to celebrate their history, to celebrate the present, and to look forward to the future and the great future that they'll have. It's a progressive, small community. I think Oakfield is a very appropriate name considering the great trees that we have here and the beauty of this community. It's a pleasure to be part of this grand day and this grand whole time of celebration. I think it's also unique that a community like this is not only planning for a week of activities or a weekend of activities, but a whole year they're going to be celebrating their great heritage and their future. So it's great to be part of this. Thank you.
I'm Tony O'Malley. I'm the chairman of the Sesquicentennial Committee. You've seen some of our parade today already and some of the other events that were going on the whole day. It couldn't have happened without the help of a lot of people. Of course, everybody on the committee and all the groups and the organizations and businesses that either supplied people or supplied donations or supplied some projects that they did to help make this a really great affair. And I think they should all be thanked. I probably don't have enough time now to name them all, but there's quite a lot of people who put a lot into this to make it a good one.
Okay, we had a really nice day for our run today. We had 3 kids runs, a 1/3 mile for ages 6 and under, a 1/2 mile for ages 7 to 9, and a 1 mile for ages 10 to 12. And we had then a 5K run walk for anyone who wanted to enter. It's an open run. We had I was very impressed. We had a nice turnout, well over 100 pre-registered, and probably 50 to 75 registered today. The course went straight up Elm Street, and that was kind of a killer for a lot of people. I heard about it afterwards. They said, "Why did you do that?" And I said, "Well, it had to go somewhere, so I guess that's where it went." I don't know, we just, everybody had a good time. We had lots of cooperation. Our Oakfield Education Association helped man a lot of the corners. A lot of the people from around school helped. And we can't do it without a lot of workers. This is a kind of deal where you need just loads of people. And we had lots of help and lots of cooperation, and it went well.
Hi, I'm Linda Searl. I've lived in the village here for 18 years, and this is our 150th Sesquicentennial year. I'm selling our T-shirts, and also we there have all the writing on it that we need to show everybody our history, and we also have our mugs, and that's all we have right now for the moment.
How's sales been?
Great. We're all of the larges.
Out of the larges, huh? Okay. How did the run go this morning?
I really don't know. I have been busy over here, so I haven't heard anything.
Are you looking forward to the parade?
Oh, very much so. Very much. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
What's your name, sir?
Carl Vincent.
Carl, you from Oakfield?
I used to live in Oakfield, and I moved to Fond du Lac.
How long did you live in Oakfield?
1922 to 1935. There were a lot of changes on there. The bank has changed over, in the library. There used to be a fire department, city hall, and the jail was in the back of the library.
The jail was in back of the library?
Back in the back end over there. You go around to the south of the building, then around to the corner was the jail.
So you probably had real smart convicts because they could read while they were in their cells, right?
No, they couldn't read because the jail was down below and the library is up where it is now.
What's your name, young lady?
My first name's Vera.
Vera? What do you think the biggest change is in Oakfield since when you lived here?
Buildings and different things.
Yeah.
Stores.
You remember when the streets were dirt roads? Were they dirt when you lived here?
No, I don't remember that. I'm not from around Oakfield. I'm from Hillsboro, Wisconsin.
You're too young to remember that anyway, right?
Oh, sure.
8 years old, but we were married after we moved away from here.
Yeah. How long you been married?
35 years.
35 years. Well, that's great. Thank you very much for sharing your time with us.
Thank you. Yes, I remember the old dirt streets here. 1933 when they put this blacktop through here. Fond du Lac.
A couple of very young ladies here from Oakfield. And what's your name, ma'am?
Helen Rolart.
And how long have you lived in Oakfield, Helen?
35 years.
Can you tell me what's the biggest change you've seen in the time you've lived here?
Well, it's just been growing, getting better all the time.
Getting better all the time, huh?
Better all the time.
And what's your name, ma'am?
My name is Teresa, and I live here for about 3 years. And I love Oakfield. I think it's the most prettiest little town there is. I like the trees and the friendly people and the crowd and just about everything. I love my church here. And look around and see the beautiful little town we got here.
You say you've lived here 3 years?
Only 3 years here.
Where did you move from and why?
I came from Germany in 1952. And then I lived outside of town here on Highway 49. And 3 years when I retired, I moved in town here. And I love it here. I love the people and I love the trees and beautiful, beautiful little town.
So you moved from the country into the big city, huh?
Well, in Germany was a big city, yeah. I always lived in the country out here when I lived in America, but in Germany I lived in the city. But then I moved back here in town, and now I love it because it's such a beautiful town.
Great. So you think the biggest change is just the growth, huh?
Just the growth, new post office, new buildings, new firehouse. Everything is
beautiful life.
Getting better.
What about the attitude here? Has it remained pretty much the same, or has there been a change there?
No, very friendly. Very friendly.
Well, great. Well, they have a sign out there that says it's a great little city. I guess they know what they're talking about.
They know what they're talking about, right?
Thank you very much.
Great place to live.
Standing here with Milton Hilbert, and Milton is going to be the, I guess you'd call it the master of ceremony of the parade today. Is that true, Milton?
I think that's what you might want to call it.
Now, I assume you're from Oakfield.
I'm the retired elementary principal after 30 years, but to me this is home.
Home, okay. Did you have a hand in putting this together?
Yes, I've worked on it from the beginning. I've been a member of the committee.
And how long has that been?
I think we've had about 6 months to prepare, but we really got busy the last couple of months.
Okay. What is going on after the parade? What other things are there going to be for people to do here while they're here for the day?
There will be a quilt show at the high school. There will be an antique farm toy show at the high school. There will be a dance this evening. There will be a village potluck tomorrow. And an antique car show this afternoon.
Oh, sounds good. You say you've been in the area for over 30 years. What's the biggest change you've seen in that time?
I think the biggest change I saw was the development in Fond du Lac of the malls, which kind of were the demise of the local downtown stores. Where we're standing once was a very large appliance store. We had 3 grocery stores in town. We had 2 hardware stores in town. We had a shoe store in town. We don't have any. We have 1 grocery store in town.
So that when the mall opened, they hurt not only things on Main Street and Fond du Lac, but in the outlying areas also.
Well, they forced the region out here to change. We have become definitely a very bedroom community, a very closely knit community. But as far as being a business center, it no longer is, although our bank is still very active.
Now, you said that you were involved with the school system as a principal. What would you say has been the biggest change you've seen in the students in the past 30 years?
No one's going to agree with me, but I really haven't seen that much change in kids. Kids are kids, good teachers are good teachers, and I still have faith in kids and I have faith in tomorrow. I really can't badmouth them like some people would.
Well, I wasn't really looking for that. I was just wondering what you've noticed. I understand what you're saying,
though. If I had it to do over, I would go right back to teaching. And you have to remember, I taught in a 1-room country school and did everything myself, from the janitorial, cleaning the toilets, to giving the IQ test.
I guess you did do it all, didn't you?
Yes, so.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for sharing your time with us here today.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Sesquicentennial Parade for the community of Oakfield. 150 years ago today, President James Tyler was in the White House. President Tyler was a bachelor president. He would marry in the White House. War was imminent with Mexico. There were difficulties regarding the alignment of the border. Victoria was the Queen of England. We were the Wisconsin Territory. The people settling Wisconsin at this particular time were arriving from the states of Vermont and from the state of New York. King Louis Philip reigned in France. The Pope at the time was Benedict. At this time, there was nothing known of the organized religion in the area. The Indians, believing their man worshipped, the Marion was one of their holy lands. They came from all around to gather in council seatings beneath the ledge, soon to be part of the Oakfield area. First entry, the Oakfield Village Squad Car. The Color Guard of the United States of America, the VFW Club. VFW van pulling the float. Auxiliary Department, the Oakfield Veterans of Foreign Wars. Parade Marshal, Carol Bitner. Oakfield High School Senior Band. Marshal, Carol Bitner. Bud Schmidt's horse-drawn carriage with Loretta Clean, the honorary citizen of Oakfield. Doris Weise, a descendant from one of our founding families.
How are you? Good morning. How are you? Hi, Milty. There you go.
We remind you that in the 150 years, we have gone under several names. Originally lime for the excellent agricultural lime which is found in this area. Lime, later it was called Avoca, and later the name was changed to Oakfield. The village of Oakfield, although we look to the oak trees probably had nothing to do with the name of our village. The Weston St. Bernard dogs, and the future responders. The Oakfield JCs and the Little Oaks. The Little Oaks preschool float.
Hi, Cass. Yeah, I know. That's where he belongs.
The Oakfield Public Library. 115 years of service to a reading community. Being drawn by a 1948 Chevrolet. Fisher's Homestead, the antique truck. A Hudson The antique car, Leo Fisher, from our sister city in Mayville. Lynn Byrne with his latest model. The Oakfield Education Association representing the Oakfield teachers. They are an affiliate of the Wisconsin Education Association. Continuing with the Oakfield Education Department, noticing that the Spanish instructor is walking in the middle of the line. Next unit to pass us with pride is the Fond du Lac VFW Color Guard, carrying the colors of the United States of America and representing their organization, the Veterans of Foreign Wars. The accent drill team will appear next. The accent drill team. National Exchange Bank racing car. Vogel's Mobile Station, one of the older dealers in mobile products in this area. Now well into its third generation. kids from Waldo, we remind you that Mrs. Fisher was a member of the Ogle family. Starting section 3, the Aid Association for Lutherans float. Congressman Tom Petri. Standard Oil Company, Royal Carry, Condon Oil. We call your attention to the flag that is being displayed. The flag up there has 46 stars. The Condon Oil Company. The Oakfield Mutual Insurance Company. Sheriff's Department. The antique tractor, property of Albert Messner, driven by his number 2 son. The antique truck, driven by Al Messner, accompanied by his wife, Judy. The Girl Scout troops of Oakfield, reminding you that Girl Scouts are more than cookie sales.
I don't want it, but I don't want to throw it away. I don't know what to do with it.
The Weeping Willow 4-H Club. Calling your attention to the need for agriculture in our area. We are an agrarian agricultural area. Agriculture is one of our biggest businesses in Wisconsin, also in the Oakfield area. I believe that's Bruford de Bull. Olivia Cheese Corner from our sister city in Fond du Lac. Owned and operated by the Dave Volbright family. Coles and Henke. local insurance firm. Coles and Henke have available to the community all your insurance needs. Coming on the scene, the Bank of Oakfield, horse-drawn wagon. We call your attention to the fact that the Bank of Oakfield is an independent bank. It is a full-service bank. The Bank of Oakfield returns your checks once they have been canceled. It's a friendly place to go. I believe it was Mr. Bird who said once, if we can't call you by first name, you're not a member of our bank. The Bank of Oakfield. Guten Morgen.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We got another German waltz by I can't fix my brain here. I'm in front of the high piece.
Finest in foods and vegetables, the Friday Canning Company. The Friday Canning Company has their offices for the local firm here in Oakfield. De La Rosa's fine food restaurant located in the heart of downtown Oakfield, specializing in Mexican dishes. At the wheel, John De La Rosa. De La Rosa is one of the finer Mexican restaurants, proud to be part of downtown Oakfield. Schlager, U.S. Congress candidate riding in the Oakfield Sesquicentennial Parade. Followed by the Highland Homemakers. The The Highland Homemaker is a group of citizens dedicated to pride in the homes that make our community. Take note of that new Maytag washer in the back, handled by Mrs. Banzer. The following cars are going to be shown, driven by members of the Antique Auto Club. This display was arranged by a friend of ours, a friend of our community, Mr. John Wessel. The antique cars, I won't even make an attempt to admit I know the age of them. Cars would operate on fuel containing lead. Mature members of the community, you might remember these cars as the vehicle you took to Lakeside Park when you went up there to watch the submarine races. Presentation of the Lutheran Church, showing you O Tannenbaum, recalling the faith of many German Lutherans who settled this area. St. Luke's, our Lutheran parish here in the village. St. Luke's, Wisconsin Synod, Evangelical Lutheran. O Tannenbaum, our German heritage.
Thank you.
The DARE program. Officer Kinshu, local boy. McGruff is tough on crime. The Eden Farm Supply Company recalling the great train wreck of 92 in Eden from our sister city, Eden, to the east. Jeff Rumbuck's float, introducing you to Heil, the finest in heating and air conditioning. Locally owned, Jeff's Heating and Air Conditioning. Whitty Milk Trucking. Home offices, Eden, Wisconsin. Riding in there, one of Oakfield's finest. One of the Shepke girls riding with the Whitty truck. Soon approach, under complete control, the Jacobson payloader. Jacobson farm. Belk Transit Company. Belk Transit, located in Oakfield, serving the agrarian area of Dodge and Fond du Lac counties. Farm Bureau, Division of Young Farmers. Wisconsin's finest cheese and milk products. The real thing. Ending Section E, the town of Oakfield truck, piloted by Ray Panzer. Good morning, Ed Shaumburg. Good morning. Yeah, thanks. The Oakfield Fire Department, truck number 2. driving one of our finest, posing for a picture. The next float sponsored by the Pit Stop and the Across the Street Bar. Tom Buechel, local taxidermist specializing in fish. Some of Buechel's work is on display on the float. We congratulate Tom. Citizen on Deering Road. Deering Road located to the north and west of our community. The Oakfield Future Farmers of America. The local chapter, Future Farmers of America, purchased the FFA van, which is available to any of the school activities. Because of its size, it can be driven by a chaperone, does not require a special bus driver's license. We salute the Oakfield Future Farmers of America. Come grow with us the float of the United Methodist Church of Oakfield. Pastor Joyce riding on the float with her proud members. Agriland Co-op congratulates the community of Oakfield on 150 years of progress. Tom Schoenfeld, riding and greeting the community. Tom is the proprietor of the Ace Model Company, located in the Coles Carpenter Building, later Irv's Appliance. The Carol Bitner float, Condon Oil Company. Oakfield Boy Scouts. Very active group of young men dedicated. Their slogan, "Be prepared," a motto of a true scout.
Isn't that great? And that's all his idea.
You'll note that the Scout banner is carried by Eagle Scout Elzinger. The Oakfield Boy Scouts of America. Give me a piece of candy, please. Not gum. Any kind of candy. Okay, thank you. The Lamartine Volunteer Fire Department. One of our finer departments located in the village of Lamartine, kind of a sister community to us. No history of Oakfield is complete without 7 Mile Creek. If you have not read the book, Jerry, of 7 Mile Creek, I suggest you read it and find out about our sister city, Lamartine. Again, the Lamartine Fire Department. Between all the volunteer fire departments in the area, there is a great deal of camaraderie. If one needs help, they only call for assistance from the neighboring fire department. The assistance may be vehicles, or the assistance may be manpower. But cooperatively, they make our area a better place to live, a safer place to live. The volunteer fire departments. Service motor case. Your case dealer, the international case dealer, located on Highway 151, just north of the village. The backhoe, or as the little kids in kindergarten refer to it as the digger tractor. So we present the case digger tractor.
Look at Corky. Look.
Haven't seen the 2-cylinder putt-putt John Deere? Take a look at this tractor. The amenities of modern farming. Stereo-equipped, air-conditioned, comfort seat. Take a look at the size of those tires. Service Motor Company, Case International Dealer, Highway 151 North. D. Miller Industries, the newest of our industrial family of the community of Oakfield. I can get over them. Winnebago screen prints. They were the source of the beautiful design t-shirts that you see many of our citizens and friends wearing today. Winnebago screen prints. Club, antique tractor with float. Call your attention to the fact that this is an international farmal not international case. Green Valley 4-H. The Green Valley 4-H is followed by people serving in the horse project. There are 10 horses if you care to count them. The Arabian Doris Harrison.
Getting your exercise.
Are you from the area? I was going to say we're going to have
The Oakfield Conservation Club. Promoting gun safety and conservation in the Oakfield area. They own several tracts of land, including one having on it Lake Allen. The Conservation Club promotes conservation, safety, and especially gun safety among our youth. They look for your support annually in the corn roast. The Oakfield Conservation Club has members throughout the state of Wisconsin, some even members who do not live in our state. The Friday Canning Company presents a pod stripper. Those of us of a more mature age can remember the pea viners out in the country. The pod stripper goes through the field, removes the peas, leaving behind the vines and the empty pods. The pod stripper is being displayed by the Friday Canning Company, the Oakfield Division. A pod stripper. The Oakfield Lions Club with President Rick Baker on the back. We call your attention to the Oakfield Lions Club. Riding the back, President Rick Baker, Mary Shampoo, being driven by Pat Shampoo. Strupp Construction Company, leading remodeler in kitchens and homes. Strupp Construction Company.
Hey, Steve, where the boys?
Murray's disposal truck. Call your attention to our need to dispose is less due to recycling, but what we must dispose of, we do via Murray's. It's interesting to note that the number of Tootsie Rolls given away so far no longer entices the kids. I think they've been Tootsie Rolled. Elevator Company. Call your attention to the fact that the Oakfield Elevator Company has available water softener salt, deliveries, and serves the community of Oakfield. Located on Church Street and Main Street, on the corner.
We shall see you later.
Coming to the end of Section 8 of our parade, the McMurry semi-truck. Just a small truck used to ship the products of Fond du Lac County throughout the United States. This is the end. Truck comes the El Dorado Volunteer Fire Department, one of our sister communities to the north. Again, we call your attention that all the local fire departments give assistance to one another in need. The El Dorado Volunteer Fire Department, we thank them for coming. This concludes the Sesquicentennial Parade for the Oakfield area. We thank you for coming. We thank you for participating. We ask that you be careful. We want you all to get home safely. We invite you to the quilt show at the high school, the antique toy show at the high school, the antique car show around town. But again, we ask you, drive carefully, drive safely. You may want to stay in our community. There are brats, hamburgers, and other refreshments available. Again, thank you for coming to the Sesquicentennial. And I'm sure that if President Tyler could have been here by me today, President Tyler would have been thankful. Again, thank you.
Okay, my name is Don Hill, and this is
Bob.
Bob lives in Florida. I live in Lamartine.
Well, I was born there. I was there before he was.
Yeah, Bob was born in Lamartine. I was born here in 1924, and I think I'm one of the oldest people living, one of the oldest that was born in Oakfield. I was born in the village.
Yeah.
And there's been a few changes.
Yeah, they tore down the schoolhouse. And
you can remember when this was a gravel road here.
Oh, yeah.
I remember.
Saturdays, the town was full of horses.
Oh, yeah. And I remember the sleighs coming in the wintertime. I remember the sleighs with the horses in the wintertime, some, and I remember when they were working on the street pouring cement.
We used to have a rope on our sleds. We'd hook them around the team horses, and the sleigh was going up the hill. We'd ride up to the top. We'd get to the top and let go of the rope, and there we was up on top of the hill, and we'd come down again then.
Yeah, right. You know, Oakfield is one of the few villages or towns in the state of Wisconsin, and maybe the only one that's got more incorporated, that's got more churches and taverns.
And that's a tragedy.
Yeah, there used to be 6 churches here at one time. There was an article in the paper about a Baptist church near the Breakneck or something, but there was a Baptist church right down here on Church Street, kitty corner across from the Episcopal Church. It wasn't torn down until after World War II. That was there for a long time. Then there was the Christian Science Church over here, which is a residence now. Then, of course, the Methodist, the Lutheran,
it's been a residence
Catholic,
for quite a while.
And the Episcopal
house has got 15 feet ceilings in the basement, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Up in the air.
Okay. When you played basketball, what years in Oakfield? High school?
Oh, 35 and 34 and 33, I guess.
I played and 39 of 40, 41, 42.
We didn't win much. I guess the best we did was third place.
We didn't do much
in 35.
Everybody I played basketball with in 8th grade moved away or quit school by the time I was a senior. Everybody else did, yeah. I was the only one. What else can we say? I don't know.
If old Jet Krager was here again, I'd get a haircut.
Well, like barbers, there used to be, I remember when there were 3 barber shops here and about 5 barbers in the village of Oakfield. In fact, I remember when there were 5 grocery stores. 5 little grocery stores in Oakfield.
There was 5. One here and one over there.
There was an old general store, one up there, 2 up there. Where what's his name, Oakfield Foods is now. That was Rayleigh's. And then
that was a meat market.
Yeah, but there also was a Clover Farm store later on.
Yeah.
And there was Calder's store down here. There was a store over there, and down near the old depot there, it's that T-shirt outfit. No, that was a store there. There were 5 operating here. Yeah. They got in one of the old yearbooks I got at home. It's got 5 ads in there for stores. So
but he's got a license that says
Oak 61. I was going to have 1842 put on here, and I goofed it up. I forgot.
You forgot?
Yeah. I should have. So you know that it says in that book of History of Fond du Lac County that the first house was built in Fond du Lac in 1836. Well, heck, the first one was built here in 1842. That's only 6 years older than Fond du Lac is only 6 years, started only 6 years before Oakfield. But I suppose by the time Oakfield started in that 6 years, I suppose Fond du Lac had quite a few people living there in that 6 years' time. But it was only started 6 years earlier, that's all. Oakfield, New York, I was in Oakfield, New York a couple of years ago. I took a few pictures in Oakfield, Maine, and the people in Oakfield, Maine that we talked to didn't even know there was an Oakfield in New York or Wisconsin.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be somebody coming here from Oakfield for this.
From New York?
Yeah.
Well, here comes an antique, I think.
So I guess outside of that, it's a pretty nice day. I mean, that's good. This is a good day, too. So I don't know what else to say.
I think keep your powder dry and your beer cold.
Yeah. And happy birthday, Oakfield.
Okay, here we're with Tom Buechel. And Tom, you're a local resident here in Oakfield?
Yes, I am.
How long have you lived here?
15 years now.
15 years. Where do you work and what's your hobby?
Oh, I'm a steam fitter by trade, and my hobby is fish taxidermy work. I've done it as a business for about 10 years now.
Which do you enjoy more, steam fitting or stuffing things?
Well, steam fitting pays quite a bit more.
Okay, you'd make a good politician, I think.
I suppose I talk quite a bit.
What are the biggest change you've seen here, say, in the past 16 years that you've lived in Oakfield?
Well, I think the school system's changing a little bit, and the town and everything else. We have a pretty good group of people here in this town. You know, they're doing a real nice job.
Good. How did you enjoy the parade today?
Yes, the parade was pretty nice. I was up at the start of the parade, and I was in it, and they had quite a few floats, and I think everything turned out pretty good.
So you do taxidermy. What's the biggest thing you've ever taxed, so to speak?
Well, the biggest thing I ever taxed was a 33-pound muskie so far.
Where'd you catch that?
I didn't catch it. One of my customers caught it up northern Wisconsin.
What's the biggest muskie you caught?
Well, most of my muskies are undersized.
Well, we won't talk about that then. No. Okay. Well, thanks very much for spending some time with us, and good luck in your taxidermy business.
Thank you very much, guys. Nice to be here.
Okay, in our continuing search for people from Oakfield, I think we found one here. Your name is?
Ed Shaumburg.
Ed Shaumburg, and you're from Oakfield?
I'm from Oakfield, yep.
How long you lived here, Ed?
Since 1960.
1960. Well, that's quite a long time. That's 32 years?
32 years, yeah.
What's the biggest change you've seen in Oakfield in the last 32 years, Ed?
Oh, the development of houses. I mean, they've built in numerous areas. I mean, they've developed more houses. It's grown into a better community than what it was when I moved here. That was for sure. I mean, in ways of emergency control, in almost any aspect of it, they've done great improvements for fire department and the medics, and it just improved it. It's good service.
Great. Are you still working yet, or are you retired?
I'm retired, but I still work.
Well, that's the way to keep young, right?
That's right. Yeah.
You married?
I lost my wife.
I'm sorry to hear that. You have some children in the area?
Oh yeah. That's my daughter over there. She's the oldest, and I have 3 sons yet.
They live in the area?
Yep. They all live in the area. Yeah.
Well, that's great.
One of them owns a house right in town, and one of them owns a house out next to me, and one stays with me. And my daughter, she lives over at Green Lake.
So you had a good spot for the parade, and did you enjoy the parade?
Well, I was in it. I drove the new snowplow.
The new snowplow. Do you drive that in the wintertime too?
That's right. Yeah, I do that in the winter. I've done it now for the last 4 years for them, and I enjoy it.
Oh, great. Well, thanks for sharing some time with us, Ed. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Sure.
Dave Volbright and
Pat Volbright, his wife.
And we've been an Oakfield resident for all my life, 51 years. And we run a cheese store in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, and I work for the cheese company there at Talibia Cheese.
Okay. Let me ask you a question then. You lived here all your life. What is the biggest change you've seen in Oakfield in your lifetime?
Probably the people. I mean, there isn't as many. We don't know everybody like we used to. Years ago, you knew just about everybody in town, and the change now is you maybe know a third of them or less.
Would you agree with that, or what's the biggest change you've seen?
Yes, that's big change. The people.
You have some children?
Yes, we do. We have 3.
They live in the area?
Yes, the 2 boys are home with us yet, and my daughter lives in Fond du Lac.
Any grandchildren yet?
No, not yet.
Well, I don't know how your kids are. Older kids are, so I can let you know. Did you enjoy the parade today?
We sure did. We had our float in it. We had a unit in it, so we didn't see a lot of it, but I understand it was real nice.
Yeah, well, we enjoyed it. Well, you were watching it. How did you enjoy it, or were you in it?
I didn't watch it either. I was a cow. I was a cow in the parade, so.
Well, maybe we have you on videotape and you can see yourself what you look for. Well, thank you very much for sharing some time with us. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Your name is?
Marilyn Henke.
Marilyn Henke, and your name is?
Laurie Henke.
Henke. Let's see, sisters, correct?
Mother and daughter.
Well, I am totally shocked and amazed. How long have you lived in Oakfield?
Basically all my life. Well, I've been in the area all my life, but in the village for the last 12 years.
I guess that means you've lived here all your life too, huh?
Basically, yes.
We've asked everybody this, what is the biggest change you've seen in the Oakfield area in your lifetime that you've lived here?
It used to be basically all the same families. You know, and everybody stayed within town, but now within the last 4 or 5 years, you see a lot of new people, you know, strangers.
Strangers from Fond du Lac, huh?
Wherever, I don't know where they're from.
Okay. Did you see the parade today?
From what I could hear while I was setting up, yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes.
Do you have a booth here?
Yeah, right here.
Oh, it's right there.
Yeah.
Did you make everything here that's on the wall?
Yeah.
You can do that for a living?
I'm a wildlife artist, and I'm a quarry tile contractor. I like quarry tile on floors.
Oh, I see. Do you help your mother do this stuff?
No, I do it on my own. Someone I'm following in her footsteps.
Oh, I see. Independent competitors here, huh?
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for sharing your time with us. We appreciate it very much.
Well, you have a good day out here. Enjoy Oakfield and its people.
Bye.
Marion Cook, formerly Marion Brolton.
Okay, Marion, and your name is?
Helen Gainacopulos. Used to be Helen Burleton.
You're both from Oakfield?
We're sisters, and we're both originally from Oakfield. I'm still living here.
How long have you lived here?
72 years.
72 glorious years. You don't look 70. Right. What is the biggest change you have seen in Oakfield in your lifetime here?
Oh, I think one of the biggest is just the increase in population, the building of new homes, and the improvement in our school system, which I taught in until 4 years ago. I put in 40 years of teaching, 25 of those in Oakfield.
Oh, that's wonderful. What's the biggest change you've seen in Oakfield in your lifetime here?
Oh, golly. I guess the increase in population, new homes.
We've heard that from several people. They've said that the biggest change they saw was that it used to be everybody knew everybody in town, and now that's not the way it is. Is that pretty much true?
That is so true. I mean, she doesn't live here anymore. She lives in Waupun, but I've been living here all my life, and there are people that I meet on the street that I don't even know. You can't keep up with them because there's new ones moving in and building all the time, which is great.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that. Did you both see the parade this morning?
Oh, yes.
How do you enjoy it?
Very good. And I didn't want to come in the first place, but it was a very good parade.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much for sharing some time with us. We appreciate it very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm principal of Bell Reynolds Elementary School, which is the elementary school here in town, K6, and I've been here for a year. I've really enjoyed Oakfield a lot. Oakfield is kind of an ideal combination of a small town that still offers a lot of very nice services for our kids, and I think in the community at large. People have really made me feel welcome here, and I think small towns in Wisconsin have a great deal to offer, both to children and to adults. I think places like this show country living at its best. That's kind of a slogan that Oakfield has, and I agree with it. We have a chance to combine the best elements of both the country and also a modern school that is state-of-the-art. Our school has a wide range of services, from special education to gifted and talented in Chapter 1, as do a lot of the smaller schools in the state. We'll compare ourselves with anybody, and for good reason. So we hope that people that see this tape will be interested in perhaps visiting here if they haven't seen Oakfield. It's a great place. As a newcomer, I can really appreciate that. Thanks.
We're with Doris Weise, who is formerly Doris Wilkinson, and I understand the Wilkinsons were like the first settlers here in the Oakfield area?
Yes. Yes, they came back in, 1840. That's where Loretta Clean lives, up there in their house, at Russell Wilkinson. Then he was burnt out by the Indians, and then him and his two brothers came back again, another ones, and they settled here. But far back, I just read that in some books, too, because I said, that's all I know.
Have you lived here all your life?
Right around this territory, yes. For a while, we lived in Brandon, but I mean, the biggest share of my life I've lived around here.
What's the biggest change you've seen in the area in the time you've lived here?
Well, things are just changing, that's for sure. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's for the better. But I don't know. I said it, I don't really know, to tell you the truth.
Did you get to see the parade today, and how did you like it?
See, we were one of the first floats. We drove, Red and I rode in a horse and buggy. So all we seen was it came down to school. But it was nice what they seen. I mean, it was real nice. They had a lot of it. It was nice.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing some time with us. We appreciate it very much.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, we're standing here with Mr. Bob Redman of Oakfield, and Bob has an interesting story about one of baseball's historic moments as far as the Oakfield area is concerned. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, Jim Gantner, he played baseball here against us and with us. In the Rock River League, he played against us for Long Lake, and we picked him up for the night league, which we played during the week, and they didn't have a team, so he played with us. He played with us as long as he was going to college, about 3 years or whatever, until he got signed by the Brewers, and then he went on from there. He was signed right here in an all-star game right in this field. Don't remember the year, probably 74, 75. Whenever he started in the big leagues, he went to the rookie leagues, and then from there on he made the big leagues. And I managed him in the night league. I was a manager then while he played here, and he's a very disciplined person, and he's a very good ball player. We always played him at shortstop because he had a gun for an arm and a good bat and legs to go along with it. And so I always thought he could make it, and everybody else did too. And I guess he did.
That's great. You think the Brewers are going to make it this year?
I'd like to see them make it, but they got to win some important games. I think they need a little stopper here and there in the bullpen.
What would be your most memorable, I don't know if you can pin it down to one, but when Jim was playing with you or for you when you were the manager, what's one or two things that really are outstanding in your memory?
Well, he was playing with us one time, and Waupun, the other big, in the night league, they always tried to beat us real heavy. And ninth inning, 2 outs. Okay, so he come to bat, and we were 3 runs down. We had bases loaded and 2 outs. And he jacks one right out of here, right center field. And he always batted lead off, so I wanted him to bat most of anybody. I remember Jim Peterson was pitching for Waupun, and he just threw his glove down, and he said over to me, and he says, "What can we do to beat you?" You know, we always had it close, but they never beat us. And that one day he had it in bag, he said, and he jacks one with 2 outs, and we won the game, last of the ninth.
Sounds like you left a word out there, Bob. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing your time with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're standing here with Gary Collien, who is the fire chief here in Oakfield, Wisconsin. Gary, I understand you were very involved in putting this whole rigmarole together.
That's correct. I was a member of the Sesquicentennial Committee representing the fire department. I'm also a village trustee and in charge of the recycling program that we started in 1991.
Oh, that's good. How long have you lived in Oakfield?
I've been in Oakfield all my life. I'm 40.
You're 40?
I'm 40.
Oh, good age. We'll ask you the same question we've asked all other Oakfieldians. What is the biggest change you've seen here in your lifetime?
The biggest change? That's a tough question. I've seen continued progress and growth in the village. I think the community as a whole has supported programs in the village. We've expanded our village park here quite a bit. We have 3 excellent schools. And I think just generally that the community seems to hold together quite well and supports what the village is trying to do.
Do you plan on being on the committee for the 200th anniversary?
I don't plan on helping on that. I hope to be around to see what does happen, though.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing some time with us. We appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We're standing here with Mary Scharf, who is an Oakfield resident. Mary, how long have you lived in Oakfield?
Oh, all my life.
All your life. What do you do here in Oakfield?
I've got a ceramics shop here. I've had one here for over 22 years.
Okay, what kind of ceramics do you do mostly?
A lot of wildlife, Christmas things, seasonal things, anything that comes along, including the cups.
Oh, you did the cups for the Sesquicentennial?
Yeah, over 400 cups we did.
That's great. That's what is the? We've asked everybody this. What is the biggest change you've seen in Oakfield in your lifetime here?
Boy, it's growing. Biggest change. It's just growing.
You think that's good?
Great.
Do you have and children that live here?
No, I have 3 growing children and gone away from here.
How many grandchildren?
1.
1?
Right.
Wonderful.
They all got cups and they all got T-shirts.
Are they here for the thing, or you just send them back?
They weren't able to be here for the big celebration, no.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for sharing some time with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're standing here with John De La Rosa, who is not only a resident of Oakfield, but also a local entrepreneur. John, what business do you own here in Oakfield?
De La Rosa's Mexican restaurant.
How long have you been in Oakfield, and what prompted you to come here?
I lived here in Oakfield for 20 years, and my father works for Friday Canning. He's one of the supervisors there, so my family's grown up here.
I see. What prompted you to open the restaurant?
Well, we've decided this a long time ago. We decided to open up here in Oakfield, and it's a challenge.
What kind of, you serve authentic Mexican cuisine?
Yes, it's all homemade. It's not McDonald's or anything like this. You can't get it in 5 minutes. People wait for at least a half an hour to 45 minutes to get their, meals.
What are your hours?
We're open Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays from 4 until 9 or 9:30.
Whenever you decide to close the doors, huh?
Yes, I guess. Whenever we run out of food. Last night we ran out of food, so today we were supposed to open at 11:30, and we couldn't. So we had to open up at 4 again, so people were disappointed.
What is the biggest change you've seen in Oakfield in the time you've lived here, John?
Oh, gosh. Change is always happening here in town. The people... Where I went to school, I see young people grow up to adults and going off to college and leaving, and I think they eventually come back. That's the biggest change.
You saw the parade today. How did you enjoy that?
Oh, the parade was great. I've never seen a long parade, even in a town this small. I was very impressed.
Oh, great. Well, thank you for sharing your thoughts with us, and we'll try to get over and have some Mexican cuisine as soon as we can.
All right, thank you.
Okay, we're here with Lila Demond, formerly Lila Summerfield, a lifetime resident of Oakfield, and one whose generations go back pretty far. Could you tell us about that, Lila?
My mother was Carrie May, Austria, and she was quite a well-known artist. She was a painter. She painted at Leighton Art Gallery. She married my father in 1901, and they moved to Milwaukee, but then they came back here. And my father was in the furniture store and undertaking business. He was village president, and he was president of Avoca Cemetery, and he was on the county board and was instrumental in getting this highway between 151 and Oakfield. And then back in 1913 and 14, he was an assemblyman from, I think it was District 2 in Madison. And his life was short, but it was full. I say short because he died at the age of 60.
Let's see. What, now you say you've lived here all your life. What would you say is the biggest change you've seen in Oakfield in the time you've lived here?
The lack of business places downtown.
The lack of business places?
Yes, I would say so. It used to be very busy, and at one time, and I'm only quoting from my mother, we had five doctors here in Oakfield, and we had at least 4 grocery stores, plus a meat market, you know, 2 hotels, and we're down to very few businesses now.
Why do you think that happened?
Well, I suppose you have to attribute part of it to progress. We're so close to Fond du Lac. So many chain stores, you know, competition is keen.
Did you enjoy the parade today?
Oh, yes, I did. I have witnessed 3 good parades here in Oakfield. One was in '34, and I think my father had charge of that. And the other one was possibly 50 years ago, and my husband had an important part in that. And I'm still looking up pictures, you know. I put them away, and then I have to look them up again. But this was very nice today. I was proud of Oakfield.
So you've been at the 100th anniversary parade and the 150th then?
Yes, I guess so. I haven't figured that out, but I think so.
Well, who knows? Maybe you'll be at the 200th too.
Oh, I doubt it. I doubt it. I don't expect to.
Well, thank you very much for sharing some time with us.
Thank you, and I'm glad I had an opportunity to talk about Oakfield, because I think it's a nice little community and safe, which you can't say too much about nowadays.
Thanks again, Lila.
Thank you.